Blessed love and blessings way up, my fire fam. Man, we know those flat-footed counter punches can be such a pain in the ass and so hard to deal with, especially if you've never dealt with one. You could be like, man, every time I'm punching, they're hitting me back. So today in this video, I'm gonna be giving you guys 3 tips on how to deal with those annoying ass, flat-footed, quick hand counter punches. Let's go. Tip number 1. You guys remember how in the video I did with the pressure fighters, 3 tips on dealing with a pressure fighter? You guys remember that lateral movement? Well, dealing with those flat-footed counter punches, you want to use some lateral movement as well. You want to use your lateral movement. You want to use your lateral movement to set up your sequences. Sequences meaning to set up what you're going to do, to set up the punches that you're going to throw. Remember, we're always going to start with that jab. So we want to use lateral movement with the flat-footed counter punches. We want the counter puncher to move his feet or her feet more than they may necessarily want to. You want to make them uncomfortable. You don't just want to have them standing there in the middle of the ring, nice and comfortable, waiting for you to punch, doing what they want to do, okay? You want to make them uncomfortable. You want to get them out of their comfort zone using that lateral movement, making them move their feet more than they want to. Big tip number 2, all right? We're gonna use feints with the counter punches, okay? Because obviously they're standing there and they're waiting for you to punch. They want you to start off so they can counter, okay? So we want to use feints. We want to be setting up our sequences with feints on the counter puncher. After we're using our lateral movement, we're gonna begin our sequence. Then we're gonna start with some feints, okay? We're gonna start with some feints on the counter puncher. Feint, and then set up your sequence, all right? Because like I said, they're standing there nice and comfortable, just waiting for you to shoot so they can come with their shots, all right? So we're gonna feint. We're gonna feint to set up your shots against the counter puncher. Tip number 3. Remember I talked about making them move their feet more than they want to. We're gonna use a double jab after we feint. So we're using our lateral movement, then we're gonna feint, bang, and then we're gonna shoot a double jab. We don't wanna throw one punch with the counter puncher. We wanna set up our sequences with lateral movement, feints, a double jab, and then combinations, all right? We don't wanna just settle for single punches against the counter puncher because obviously they're counter punching, okay? So 3 tips. You wanna use lateral movement. You wanna make them move their feet, make them uncomfortable. Tip number 2, you want to use feints. After you get their feet moving, you want to use feints, okay? Keep their timing off, keep their rhythm off, because of course they're looking to counter punch. Tip number 3, after you've used your lateral movement and your feints, now you're gonna bust that double jab, okay? And those are not all the tips, those are just 3 tips. So this is series 1. There will be another video, but for now, start with your lateral movement, your feints, your double jab. All of these tips that I'm giving you guys is tips that I'm really using in real time with my fighters. I did the pressure fighter video. I had 2 of my fighters fight pressure fighters. I'm doing the flat-footed counter punch video. I had 1 of my fighters fight a flat-footed counter puncher last week, and we had to make the real time in between round adjustments. So I'm helping you guys with your adjustments on the fly. You guys give the video a like, subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed. Until the next video, go.